Jose was wrongfully detained and held captive in Venezuela for nearly 5 years, from November 21st, 2017 to October 1st, 2022. His only crime was that he was an American. Before he was taken hostage, he spent 35 years as an oil company executive and CEO of Citgo Petroleum. Jose's story has since evolved into a movement, changing the narrative of what it takes to bring the wrongfully detained home and how to find peace following such a traumatic experience. Having gone through his hostage experience in a hostile foreign country, expanding on Jose's perception of how to measure accomplishments and reach success, the combination of both his professional experience and uniqueness, lived experience, has led him to the desire to help others in their own journey to success. Jose, I'm super excited to bring you to the stage. The stage is yours. Go for it.
Thank you very much, Michelle. And by the way, Tiffany's share was amazing, Tiffany. I'm proud of what you said, okay? Really, really touched me. Well, I want to begin saying, as Michelle introduced myself, that I was a former oil and gas executive during 35 years. I'm Venezuelan born, but dual citizen, and I began my long career back in Venezuela in the 80s. And I come from a family of 3 generations of oil workers, so I spent all my life there. And during my life, I developed this long career. I was having like my personal dream, because I was having a successful career. All my life was like kind of in a very good path, and I was preparing to get retired. So here comes the story. In October 2017, I flew to Caracas to talk with who was my former boss, because Citgo Petroleum is a Venezuelan oil company. And my boss was in Caracas. So I went to talk with him and ask him that I wanted to get retired, because I already had 35 years in the company. And he told me that it could be okay to do it next year around February. So we were talking about 3 months in the row. I came back to Houston, where I'm located, and I remember that I was having a meeting, and in that meeting, the closing of it was a summit, by the way. The closing of that summit came a guy that was our motivational speaker that the company brought. It was the real Captain Phillips, the Captain Phillips of the movie, and the real one. And when he told his story of his adversity, getting captured by the Somali pirates, and going through all that situation he went through, the people that saw the movie, I saw, wow, your story is so amazing. And he told me something. He told me that the person, all of us, we have inside us an inner force that comes from God, but we don't know that we have it there. And in some extreme circumstance, that inner force comes out and makes you survive. So that caught me my attention. 1 month after, I was with my wife in a movie here in Houston, and I received a phone call. When I received that phone call, it was asking me, my boss, to go to a quick travel in Caracas, a business travel. I was going to do a presentation. And I went the other day. By the way, November 21 is going to be my 6 years is going to be very soon, very, very soon. So I flew to Caracas. I was supposed to get a back and forward 1-day trip, come back, and in 2 or 3 months get retired. So I was preparing to get retired. That never happened. That never happened, because when we get there in Caracas, appeared counterintelligence military police and took us. We were charged for treason. We were charged for espionage. We were charged for embezzlement, and like 6 or 7 more charges. And when that happened, I thought that was not happening to me. I thought that was a mistake. I was a guy that I said, what's going on? So this is the first thing that I'm going to say here, talking about your traumas and your adversity. They will never announce you. They will appear in your life when you are ever not expecting them. And then the first decision or your first reaction is to deny it. This is not happening to me. So that was my first reaction. This is not happening to me. And then when suddenly we begin to evolve and see in the days what was really going on, because we didn't have no communication, we begin to accept, oh, this is really happening to me. At that point, you had to realize exactly how you want to deal with that situation. And then my situation, you can compare to any situation in your life. So we saw that we saw that we were really in something big. And by the way, we learned we were get caught in the middle of that dispute that was having the U.S. government at that time with the Venezuelan government, because they declared it illegitimate and they were imposing a lot of sanctions. So we were caught as like a political pawns of the situation. They begin to negotiate among us to liberate us regarding to get some sanction relief and a lot of stuff. And that is something that we never thought that we could get caught in the middle of that. So I'm going to say, see here, that when that happened and you begin to first deny it and then you accept it, then comes a third decision. And this is the most important decision. When you decide how to overcome your adversity. If you decide to go in the wrong way and go in a negative thought, and then comes like anxiety, depression, etc., or you decide to overcome it, face it. And there comes here having a positive mindset. The first thing, being focused in the situation, knowing what's going on and understanding what's going on. And second, having a positive mindset. And this is something very important, having the positive mindset. And this you can apply for anything in your life, okay? Because in my particular case, I was always a positive guy by nature. It's in my DNA. So I begin to think that I was really going to solve this situation. It takes a long time, because at some point we weren't communicated, and after almost 1 year, we began to have communication with my wife in a very particular way, because we didn't have communication by phone. It was 1 minute, 2 minutes call. So I decided I was receiving some foods, and I decided to begin to smuggle letters with my wife inside the trash cans. I began to send it to her, and they was delivered to here in the U.S. by phone, and I don't know how they did it. And then we begin to have communication back and forward. Every 2 or 3 days we were communicating. And we began doing that during 3 years. And that maintained me communicating with her, and I was knowing what was going on. So there comes the third thing. So be focused, positive mindset, and the third thing is get connected to your loved ones. This is so important in any adversity in your life. Get connected to your loved ones, because that is what is going to make that you can survive, having the support of the people that love you. Don't face never adversity alone. You have to go and seek the people that is part of your community, the people that love you, that support you. So for me, that gave me a lot of boost of hope and faith. And the fourth thing that we learned there was that I began to read, and there is a book that I began to read there is a survivor of the concentration camp in Auschwitz in the World War II. His name is Viktor Frankl, and that book is named Men in the Search of a Meaning. In that book, Viktor Frankl was talking about that the survivor of the concentration camp, the people that survived was those who found meaning in their life, the purpose of your life. And at that point, I understood that I needed to survive, because the purpose, the meaning of my life was coming back to my family in soul, body, spirit, in one piece. So I really begin to work on that. I begin to work in a daily basis, thinking only in that. So this is something another important. Not only be focused, not only have positive mindset, not only get connected to the one, but also work on your thing. Try to be saying in body, soul, and spirit. And the fifth thing is get connected to your inner circle and your spirituality. We begin to pray, we begin to read the Bible, really begin to have faith and hope because we knew that God was going to help bring us back. In October 1st, 2022, one day we received a call and somebody came and we were released. We were releasing as prisoner swap. We landed here in a military base in San Antonio, Texas, and I had 13 months I came back. When I came back, today I'm a strong advocate for the hostage community. I'm one of the most vocal voices in that community. But not only that, I created a coaching program based on my experience where now I'm helping companies to overcome their adversities in their businesses because I come from a wealth experience and leadership, 35 years working in the oil and gas. So I combine those techniques and I'm helping these companies how they can overcome their adversities and also teaching people because I'm very active in LinkedIn, have audio rooms. So today I'm also speaking like I'm doing today, and I wrote my book. My book today is in the Pereira. I'm gonna leave all those links there. I'm gonna leave the link of my webpage. I'm gonna leave the links of my coaching program. I'm gonna leave the link of my book. And if anybody today wants to contact me, believe me, you can have a chat with me. I can help you. I can help you because we have put them together. Those two things that happened to me are management experience in the oil and gas, but the 5 years of the survival, I combine it, and I have a lot of things to share with you. And the last thing I want to say to the people that are hearing me is that any adversity in life, you can survive it. Adversity will come and unexpected, and you will need to face it. It will be your choice how you do it. If you do it in the wrong way or you do it in the right way. I decided by choice to do it in the right way, and I can show you how you can do it. So you have to contact me, and we can have a chat. You tell me exactly what is the situation, and we start from there. And get connected to your loved ones. Never lose the faith. Never lose hope, and never give up under non-circumstance. And contact me, and we can talk. Thank you very much for hearing me, and I'm going to be open to have any communication.
Great job, Jose. Hey, I've got a couple of, I guess, questions or statements. One thing that really kind of stood out to me is that you were played as a political pawn. And isn't it interesting with what we're facing worldwide that people are using human beings as political pawns? Yes. And you were held captive for over a year, where I'm sure you experienced some severe pain and turmoil, maybe even some physical abuse, things like that happened to you. And now all of a sudden you are out, you are a shining light, and you get to give back to your community and help people all around the world to overcome their adversities. So I love that. I love that you're bringing it to our attention that unfortunately this happens to so many individuals. I still have to read that book. You said Viktor Frankl, Man in Search of Meaning. Is that what that book's called?
You had to read that book. You will love it. I can tell you. It's a very tiny book. Let me tell you, Viktor Frankl is the author of the logotherapy. The logotherapy he created based on that book, based on the observation he did in the concentration camp. In the book, he tells that every day he saw people corpse dead and people that survived, and he began to study that, and he got to the point that the people that survived was who found the meaning of their life. They found the purpose and they made it. So that's why that book is important. Yes.
Yeah. Well, it's just like those tips that you were talking about, right? Focus, positive mindset, stay connected. You mentioned a couple others as well. Yeah. But it's creating that positive shift in yourself so that you can survive. And that's what you did, Jose.
And let me tell you another thing, Michelle, before you pass. Yes, and today I'm very active in the hostage community. The unfortunate situation that's going now in the Middle East, let me tell you, there are more than 60 Americans that have 8, 10, 12 years outside there, has been lost. One of my causes is trying to raise that awareness, amplify my voice to make that stop happening, because this is something called the hostage diplomacy, that you inadvertently get caught in a situation, and you can be a regular person, you can be even in a business trip, and you have the wrong passport, and you're done because you got like a pawn. Because these countries, I'm gonna name it: Iran, China, Venezuela, Cuba, North Korea, all these countries, they use this technique. This is like a copy paste. So they use you, and they leverage you to find things from the government that they want to have something. And this is not only happening here in the US, it's happening in UK, in Australia, Germany, French. Today I know a lot of former hostages all over the world. You can get surprised when you saw those cases. And that's part of the thing that I'm telling in my book. Not only my story, raising the awareness, but putting the legacy that you can survive it, you can overcome it.
Yeah,
I think
that's
this
amazing.
is the most important.
Yeah, absolutely amazing, Jose. Make sure you put your information in the chat. It's so great to have you on this stage. I'm super excited, very excited to bring you back as well. So honored to have you. And like I said, put everything in the chat. And if you are watching on Facebook, make sure you look up Jose so you can get some information. And speaking of books,